Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone. President Kimo Aoyun, Director of Athletics Mike Broker, members of the selection committee, fellow inductees, and the entire Marquette family. It is an absolute honour to be here with you today. I've stood over some pretty nerve-wracking four-footers in my career, but I have to admit, standing on this podium feels just a little more intimidating. I came to Marquette a long way from home, Worcester, England to be exact. When you travel nearly 4,000 miles across the Atlantic as a young kid, you're looking for more than just a university or a golf program. You're looking for a place to belong. I remember arriving in Milwaukee, a world away from everything I knew. But despite the distance and despite the different accents, I found a second home here almost immediately. And that is largely because of the culture at Marquette. But I'll be honest, I arrived with a lot to learn. I remember vividly one of my first meetings with our athletic academic advisor, Nicole Lewis. She was trying to help me map out my class schedule, and I stopped her with all the naive confidence of an 18-year-old and said, "Nicole, respectfully, I'm here to play golf, not do school." I think the look she gave me could have frozen Lake Michigan. She didn't let me get away with that for a second. She made it clear that at Marquette, student-athlete means exactly that. Looking back, I'm so grateful for the people like Nicole, who didn't just accept my immaturity, but challenged me to be better. So that was the beginning of my education here. And while the classroom was vital, my biggest lessons happened on the course. Most Marquette fans know the roar of a sold-out crowd at the Pfizer Forum or the echoing cheers in the Al Maguire Center. But my Marquette experience was defined by a different kind of intensity. The absolute silence of a final putt on the 18th hole. In those moments of high pressure, when it's just you, your thoughts, and the ball, you realize you aren't actually alone. You're carrying every lesson, every word that we had from Coach Bailey. Coach, I'd like to take a moment to speak directly to you. You were far more than a coach to me. In a sport that is incredibly solitary, you never let me feel alone. You didn't just teach me how to read a green, you taught me how to carry myself with integrity when things weren't going my way. You cared more about the person I was becoming than the score I posted on the leaderboard. You saw the Hall of Famer in long before I saw one in myself. And for that belief, I will always be grateful to you for the rest of my life. I wouldn't be standing on this stage without you. That connection was what made Marquette Golf truly special. We were taught that we weren't just here to play golf, we were here to prepare for life. I remember our welcoming ceremony that President Lovell said, "Go forth and set the world on fire." And as a student athlete, I realized that meant taking discipline, focus, and the resilience and applying it to everything we did. Marquette doesn't just give you a degree or a trophy, it gives you a spark and expects you to do something meaningful with it. No one gets to this podium alone. To my teammates, specifically Charlie and Austin, you guys were the constants in my life for 4 years. We grew up together, whether it was the early morning workouts, the long van rides, or just keeping me sane during the grind of the season. You guys are my brothers, and I could truly not have done this without you. And then to my family, thank you for the sacrifices you made. From the first junior tournaments to the final round of my senior year, you were my foundation. Your belief in me never wavered, even when my putting did. Closing out a round of golf is all about composure and trusting the work you put in to get the job done. And as I look back on my time here, it wasn't the trophies that stayed with me, it was the character this place forged in me. Being inducted into this Hall of Fame is one of the greatest honors of my life, but the true gift was the 4 years I got to spend here wearing the Marquette logo. I'll keep trying to set the world on fire, carrying the lessons I learned with me forever. Thank you, and we are Marquette.